Hi all, I'm Nikki Haverstock, a self-published author, and I'm going to talk about NaNo. So I should be editing my audiobook, which is right there, but I decided to talk about this instead because I've been trying to keep up on AuthorTube and kind of, seeing who's doing what and being encouraging and watching videos and saying hi and stuff like that. And so many videos this month are about NaNo. If you're not familiar, NaNo is National Novel Writing Month. People just shorten that down a lot of times to NaNo. And it's in November, and then in April they do a camp, okay? And then FOMO is fear of missing out. And so here's my dirty little secret, which is I have failed NaNo every single time I do it. And I think it's great. There's a lot of people I know, professional authors, people who are full-time making all their money, who love NaNo and do it every year, who are incredibly successful. And a lot of, it's great for a lot of people who have very specific hang-ups, people who have been in the community for a long period of time. So if you love it, then click off the video right now. I don't have anything bad to say about NaNo, but I'm just gonna be honest in that I've had to accept that it's not for me and that I have really complicated feelings about it. Because for a long time I felt like, how can I call myself a real author if I keep failing NaNo? And everybody keeps doing it, is able to do it and win. And I just can't get into it. And this was really kind of sparked by the idea that I was looking at AuthorTube, and I've been looking at recent videos because whenever I search for AuthorTube, they're like, here's all these drama videos. And I'm like, well, that's fine. But I wasn't here for it. I don't know what it's about. I don't know any of the players involved. And they're old, and so I'm like, okay. So I do a search and I look at for the past week or two, so I can kind of see like who's posting now, especially people who, like me, have started a channel recently. And so, maybe they need some encouragement and so on and so forth. And so many of the videos that I see that are being posted are about NaNo. And after a while, you start to get FOMO, and you feel like, at least I feel like I'm missing out on something. And I have tried so many times. I've been writing for 6 years, full-time, meaning that it's a significant part of every single week. I say full-time because apparently there's a whole discussion about, can you say full-time if you're not 40 hours a week and earning a full-time salary? That is for someone beyond me to have that, make that designation. But I have been very serious about writing for 6 years. I've been, every week putting in something, whether it's research, classes, learning, actively writing, editing, audiobooks, whatever, I've been working at it. And every single time it pops up, camp pops up, and a lot of times it's more than just those months. The month before, people might be prepping for it. I guess it's a popular thing to do. And so we're talking, it seems like it's always happening, and right now, seems like it's happening a lot, and a lot of videos are focused on it. I've tried a couple of the writing sprints, and they seem to be very focused on these high word counts, which is awesome for the people that it's supposed to do. But I thought maybe there's some people out there who feel like me and are discouraged by the fact that they can't seem to get into it. So I thought, well, maybe I'll do a video for them. And if it upsets people, I hope I put enough caveats in and qualifications that if it's great for you, I support you in making the decisions that are right for you as a writer that get more words written down. But this video is for people who haven't ever been able to do NaNo and who maybe feel a little bit left out. So I want to assure you that you can be a writer who makes money and not be able to do NaNo. I write over my career, which includes, I had a baby in the kind of in the middle of my journey. I've written on average, I'm going to say about 140,000 words a year that are published. I've had years that are a little higher. I've had years that are a little lower. That is my best guess as to where it is. I have published 14 books and 3 short stories. One of them is not available on my Amazon page. The rest are down there if you want to go peek, which you probably should. You probably should go peek and see whether or not I have anything worth saying. I don't know, however you judge that. But and that works out to be about 20,000 a month. And I would say that's pretty much. I don't think I've ever written 50,000 in a month. I would need to pull out my old journals, one's right there, and do a real breakdown. But I can tell you I have never planned on doing 50,000 and gotten 50,000. There have been times, I tend to be kind of a binge writer, I need a lot of thinking, and then I do a bunch of writing. I tend to do, it's not unusual that the last 20% of my book I do in like a week. Sometimes even 30% of my book I can do within a week. Those are my highest word counts. I finally have all the pieces in place and I just race to the end. So maybe it's like a jigsaw puzzle where you spend a lot of time flipping over all the jigsaws and putting them in colors. And then, so for a long time you don't have any visible progress and then you race toward the end. And that is not unusual for me. So maybe I've done 50,000 in a month, but it wasn't a plan. It wasn't a matter of carving out time for me. It comes together when it comes together. And I can't, there are things I can do to try to help that. And I am constantly trying new things and new strategies and talking to my friends and saying, let's try, maybe if I start my day with this list of questions, maybe if I do 15 minute sprints instead of 25. Maybe if I lock off my internet for 4 hours, I can get into a groove. And I try things and it's lots of like little bit of progress and then it stops working, or that works now and then I stop doing it, or you know, it's all over the place. So I have never written, and I know that for Camp Nano you can kind of pick whatever, but for whatever reason I haven't gotten that to work for me either. Because it tends to be that I am on a schedule that I am on and my brain just kind of does its own thing. And I'd like to think that sometimes I resign myself that I'm just a slower writer than I want to be, and sometimes I will do everything on earth to try to get faster, and I'll make some progress. So you can be I won't say full-time because of all the, but you can be an author and make money. I do make money, and not be able to do 50,000 in a month, because there's more to it than just that. And I don't want to take anything from all the people who are very proud of their Nano accomplishments. That is, my toddler is singing in the background, so that you can hear him. He's very excitedly singing along with his Sesame Street songs. I don't want to take anything from anyone who has any accomplishments, because we need our gold stars wherever we can find them, literally and metaphorically. So if finishing Nano is something that you're really proud of, you should definitely be proud of it. If you haven't been able to finish Nano, it is not a sign that you are doomed to failure. I know it can sometimes feel like, depending on your environment, it can feel like, wow, everyone I see is doing this, and maybe I have to do this, and this isn't how I want to work. Like I said, I tend to be someone who has a lot of thinking. I also tend to binge write a little bit, and I have no control over when that happens. Sometimes it'll just be the words just flow like water from me. And other times it's like I'm writing in a foreign language and I have to stop and think. And then when I read what I write, it doesn't even make sense. It's not even a matter of it's not very good. It's a matter of it doesn't even make sense. I don't even know what I've written. And I'll step back, and because I'm self-published, there's a lot of other stuff I need to do. And so I might invest my time into something different. I have a young child, and sometimes, like last night, he woke up a whole bunch, and I get up with him at night and cuddle him, and then the dog got sick. And then I had reoccurring nightmares that my house was burning down. And so I'm pretty frazzled today, which is why I'm doing a second video and might even do a third. But I just want to assure you that you can be a great author, and while Nano is a wonderful tool that I encourage people to use if they find benefits in it, it is not the only tool, and it is certainly not the sole way to write books. So I have to, and this is a big long video to myself because I feel so left out of the loop because everyone's doing Nano videos and I have nothing to contribute. So maybe if you're discouraged, you can come join, you can come sit right here next to me and we can commiserate. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day and stay safe.